God says you've been carrying questions in your heart that you could barely speak out loud, questions that weighed more than any burden you've ever admitted to yourself. You've wondered why things felt distorted, why people said one thing but lived another, why confusion clung to situations that should have been clear, why your intuition kept sounding an alarm while others insisted everything was fine. You've spent nights staring at the ceiling, whispering to God, "What is true? What is real? Who is He really? What am I supposed to see?" And today, God is answering you with a clarity so sharp it cuts through every illusion that tried to own your peace. Today, He is saying, the lies stop. The masks fall. The truth rises. You were never meant to stay tangled in the web someone else spun around your spirit. You were never meant to drown in someone's half-truths, mixed motives, or beautifully packaged deceptions. The enemy used confusion to keep you still, to keep you silent, to keep you doubting your discernment. But God watched every moment. He saw every manipulative word, every promise that didn't match action, every excuse repeated so often it started sounding rehearsed. And He waited for the exact moment, this moment, to pull back the veil over your eyes. You have not been blind. You have been merciful. You have been patient. You have been hopeful. You kept believing someone would eventually show you the version of themselves you sensed deep inside them, the version God could see beneath their brokenness. But hope cannot resurrect a truth someone is determined to bury. And God is done watching you question your own heart because someone else couldn't be honest with theirs. God is not exposing this to hurt you. He is exposing it to free you. He is exposing it because you've cried to Him too many times, asking for truth, and God always answers those who ask for clarity with revelation. He is showing you that the person you trusted wasn't always trustworthy, not because you were foolish, but because you were loving. People think love makes you weak, but they forget that real love sees beyond behavior. You looked at potential while they hid intentions. You looked at growth while they hid their patterns. You looked at the heart while they hid their motives, but there is only so long someone can hide from a God who sees everything. And today, God is peeling back every layer, every lie, every half-truth, every sweet-sounding excuse, every emotionally polished sentence they crafted to keep you attached. God is turning on the lights in a room where someone desperately wanted the shadows to stay. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. The uneasiness you felt was not random, it was revelation. That discomfort was God's whisper. That sudden heaviness after talking to them was God's warning. That little twist in your heart when they spoke was God saying, "Listen. This is not matching. Pay attention." You heard Him. You just wanted to give the benefit of the doubt. And God honors your heart for that, but now He's telling you something different. Now He's saying, enough. You've seen enough. You've cried enough. You've tolerated enough. You've misunderstood yourself long enough. It's time for truth to replace confusion. And the truth is this: the person you were dealing with was not showing you who they truly were. They showed you the version of themselves they wanted you to believe. They gave you fragments and expected you to build a whole reality out of them. They wanted control over your emotions but freedom over their own accountability. They wanted your loyalty while keeping their options open. They wanted your trust even when their actions didn't earn it, yet God, in His mercy for you, is refusing to let you stay attached to anything built on dishonesty. He will never let a counterfeit survive in the life of someone chosen. And you, no matter how you feel right now, are chosen. That's why this is happening. That's why you're awakening. That's why your spirit is stirring. Every time someone lied to you, God took note. Every time you questioned it but silenced yourself out of love, God took note. Every time you tried to leave but felt pulled back by guilt or false hope, God took note. And now He is stepping in because this was something you were never meant to figure out alone. God is showing you who this person really is, not to destroy them, not to punish them, but to protect you. Some people cannot go where you are going next. Some people cannot access the blessings being prepared for you. Some people would poison the future God is building around you. And because He loves you too deeply to let that happen, He is dismantling the illusion at its roots. But understand this: the exposure is not to shame you. It is to empower you. You did not fail by trusting someone. They failed by misusing your trust. You did not lose by loving. They lost by not valuing what God gave them through you. You were not naive. You were pure-hearted. And purity scares people whose intentions are scattered. God is preparing you to walk forward with strength, not confusion. With clarity, not questions. With discernment sharpened, not weakened. With boundaries built from wisdom, not fear. And now He whispers this into your spirit: I am revealing the truth so you can rise. I am removing the lies so you can see your worth. I am closing this door so the right one can open. I am protecting your heart from a future it was never meant to suffer. You have cried enough. You have wondered enough. Now you will finally understand. You may feel anger, disappointment, shock, or even relief. All of it is valid. But God wants you to know this: the exposure is not the end. It is the beginning of the chapter you've been praying for. You asked God for love that is real, and He is clearing the path so that nothing false can reach you first. The one who truly loves you will not lie to you. They will not confuse you. They will not hide from you. They will not drain your spirit. They will not keep secrets that bruise your heart. The person God has prepared for you will come with honesty, with clarity, with emotional maturity, with the kind of presence that feels peaceful, not suspicious. They will speak truth even when it is difficult. They will choose you without playing games. They will match your loyalty, your intention, your depth, but before God brings that blessing, He must remove the counterfeit. That is what is happening right now. It feels like loss, but in Heaven's eyes, this is protection. It feels like revelation, but spiritually, it's elevation. God is pulling you out of a fog that was never meant to become your climate. The lies stop today, the confusion ends today, the truth begins today, and in this truth, God is rebuilding you. He is recentering your identity. He is giving you back your voice. You will not doubt your intuition again, because it was never wrong. You will not accept crumbs again, because you finally understand your value. You will not settle for half love again, because God is preparing a full one. This exposure is not just about the person, it is about your transformation. God is showing you how deeply He has been guiding you, how fiercely He has been protecting you, how closely He has been watching over your heart. Everything hidden is being brought to light not to break you, but to rebuild you stronger, wiser, holier, and more aligned with the destiny written for you from the beginning. There is a moment in everyone's life when God steps in and refuses to let the darkness speak louder than His truth anymore. You are in that moment right now. It may feel overwhelming, because the truth always comes with weight, but this time the weight is not meant to crush you, it's meant to lift you. It's meant to release the pressure you've carried for too long, the tension in your spirit that whispered, something isn't right, even when the situation looked fine on the surface. God is telling you that your spirit has been sensitive all along because He designed it to detect what your eyes couldn't see. You spent so much time trying to understand someone who wasn't trying to understand you. You kept giving the benefit of the doubt to a person who benefited from your doubt. Every time they told you what you wanted to hear, they pulled you back into a cycle that kept you emotionally drained. God saw how deeply you wanted it to work, how sincerely you tried, how you kept showing up with honesty while they kept arriving with inconsistencies. And now God is saying, you deserve better than explanations that change. You deserve better than answers that avoid accountability. You deserve better than someone who wants access to your heart but not responsibility for it. It is not your job to fix someone who chooses confusion. It is not your calling to heal someone who refuses to acknowledge their wounds. Love can inspire change, but it cannot force transformation. And God knows that you poured love into someone who didn't know how to receive it fully. They cared, yes, but not enough to be truthful. They valued you, yes, but not enough to honor your heart with consistency. They wanted you, yes, but not in the way that leads to commitment. They were comfortable receiving from you, but they weren't prepared to match what you offered. God is showing you this so you can finally stop carrying the burden of their choices on your shoulders. You have been asking yourself, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? But the truth is that their dishonesty was not a reflection of your worth, it was a reflection of their fear. Their confusion, their lack of readiness, their emotional immaturity, their unresolved wounds. You didn't fail. You simply outgrew the version of them they refused to confront, but God is not just exposing them, He is awakening you. Awakening you to your value, your intuition, your calling, your spiritual maturity. Awakening you to the reality that your heart is too precious to be placed in hands that are unsure, unstable, or dishonest. Awakening you to the fact that the pain you feel right now is not punishment, it is preparation. God is softening your heart without letting it break. He is strengthening your spirit without making it hard. He is opening your eyes without making you bitter. There are some people you love from your soul, and God knows that. But not every person you love is meant to walk with you into your destiny. Some remain lessons. Some remain memories. Some remain chapters. And some, if they're willing, might find redemption, but you cannot pause your life waiting for someone else to choose their healing. God is showing you who He really is, not so you can hate Him, not so you can resent Him, but so you can release the parts of Him that were built on illusion. You are not losing a person. You are losing a false version of them that was never meant to stay. You are losing the confusion that tried to attach itself to your spirit. You are losing the exhaustion that came from believing half-truths. You are losing the emotional instability that kept you second-guessing yourself. And what you gain will be far greater. God is restoring you. Slowly, gently, intentionally. He is speaking into the parts of you that felt neglected. He is touching the parts of your heart that felt bruised by someone's dishonesty. He is healing the disappointment before it hardens into distrust. And He is reminding you that you are not losing love, you are being redirected toward a love that is worthy of you. You may not see it now, but this exposure is an answered prayer. You asked God for clarity, and He gave it to you. You asked God to reveal intentions, and He did. You asked God to guide your heart. And that guidance is what you're feeling right now. Even the emotions you cannot articulate, the heaviness, the anger, the disbelief, the strange sense of relief, it is all part of the shift God is moving you through. You are stepping into a version of yourself that cannot be manipulated, cannot be deceived, cannot be confused, because you have learned enough to recognize the difference between someone who loves you and someone who loves what you provide. Your compassion will remain, but your boundaries will grow. Your heart will remain soft, but your wisdom will sharpen. Your hope will remain alive, but your tolerance for dishonesty will not, and God is whispering to you, I am guiding you away from what was unstable so I can lead you into what is ordained. You will not grieve forever. You will not remain confused. You will not stay stuck. You are moving forward, not because they failed you, but because I am protecting you. You are not walking into emptiness, you are walking into truth. You are not walking away from love, you are walking away from the illusion of it. You are not being abandoned, you are being realigned. And what God aligns, no lie can distort again. There comes a moment when you finally breathe differently. Not because all the pain disappears at once, but because something inside you shifts. Something opens. Something releases. And that release is happening inside you right now. You may not realize it yet, but the heaviness that clung to your heart for so long is loosening its grip. God is lifting it. God is peeling it off layer by layer. God is making space, new space, for clarity, for peace, for love that is true, steady, and worthy of the heart you carry. You're stepping out of confusion and into revelation. Out of emotional fog and into divine clarity. Out of the version of yourself who tolerated lies to avoid conflict. And into the version of yourself who welcomes truth even when it hurts. This is the version of you God has been preparing silently, patiently, purposefully. The version that rises. The version that sees. The version that cannot be shaken by half-love or false promises. You spent a long time believing someone's potential, but now you are waking up to God's intention. You saw who they could be if they healed. But God is showing you who they actually are right now. And the truth isn't meant to break your hope, it's meant to redirect it. God is protecting you from a future your heart was never built to endure. You would have given everything. You would have poured out love without limits. You would have stayed loyal through storms that weren't even yours. You would have sacrificed your peace to maintain a connection that was never stable. And God, knowing the depth of your love, stepped in before the damage became permanent. This is why He revealed what He did. Because you deserve to know. You deserve to see. You deserve to stop settling for explanations that never matched behavior. You deserve the truth, even when the truth stings before it saves. And that's what God is doing, saving you. Saving your emotional energy. Saving your future. Saving your heart from becoming cynical. Saving your spirit from attachments that drain more than they give, and the beauty in this is that nothing exposed today will haunt you tomorrow. God is not revealing truth for you to replay the past, He is revealing it so you can release it. Release the disappointment. Release the confusion. Release the guilt you carried for caring too much. Release the blame you placed on yourself for someone else's dishonesty. Release the belief that you weren't enough. You were more than enough. You were too much truth for someone who wasn't ready to stop hiding, but God is ready for you to step into wholeness now. He is ready for you to heal. He is ready for you to rise. He is ready for you to learn from this, not lose yourself in it. And He is telling you that what feels like an ending is actually a divine beginning. You are not empty, you are clearing space. You are not rejected, you are being redirected. You are not broken, you are being rebuilt. You are not alone, God is closer than the breath leaving your lips. In time, you will understand why this exposure was necessary. You will look back and say, God, "Thank you for saving me from what I couldn't see." And you will thank him again when the person who is truly meant for you enters your life. Someone who won't make you question your intuition. Someone who won't give you reasons to doubt. Someone whose love won't come with confusion, competition, or secrecy. Someone who will be honest even when it's uncomfortable. Someone who will show up consistently. Someone who will speak truthfully. Someone who will match your depth, your loyalty, your intention. You may not see them yet, but God is preparing them just as He is preparing you. And this exposure is part of that preparation. God is clearing what is false so there is room for what is real. He is closing this emotional chapter so you can receive the next one with strength rather than fear. And when the right person arrives, you will recognize them instantly, not because they are perfect, but because your spirit will rest in their presence. Peace is the first sign of true love. Honesty is the second. Consistency is the third. And God will make sure you receive all three. For now, God wants you to breathe. To let the truth settle gently. To let the sadness pass through you without defining you. To let the revelation become wisdom instead of bitterness. To let yourself feel without falling apart. God is holding the parts of you that still ache. He is renewing the parts of you that still question. He is comforting the parts of you that still love. And He is strengthening the parts of you that are finally ready to move forward. No more lies. No more confusion. No more pretending not to see what you've already sensed. Today marks the day your spirit steps into truth, into clarity, into divine protection. God is not just revealing who He really is, God is revealing who you really are through this. Stronger than you thought. Wiser than you believed. More intuitive, more chosen, more protected than you ever realized. And as this message comes to its final breath, God leaves you with a peace that cannot be faked and a certainty that cannot be shaken. The truth has set you free. And freedom, once given by God, can never be taken back. You are stepping into a new one built on truth,